All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Count the Bucket. I am your host, Amber Vickers. I have my co host here, Michael Lawson, and we're going to talk NBA basketball, all NBA basketball today. I will get into some of the bubble that's going on for the G League. I will also get into I'm going to get into some college as well, but I think we're going to save those shows. Caleb and I are going to come up with some things to do with Unwrap University for that. But tonight it's all NBA talk.
We won
Yes,
today.
Kentucky.
First time we
What?
won since January 23rd. Yay.
I'm so proud of your college. And OU beat West Virginia in double overtime today. So I was happy about that. And I'm gonna let this guy introduce himself, plug all his things in, and we're gonna get started.
Well, as co-host, my name is Michael. You can follow me on Twitter at MDLawson00. I actually am a co-host of our Backstop Banter. We're live every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Me and Connie, we do a great show on there. We've had a lot of special guests. We got some things coming up that's even more than nice, I think. If you've watched our show, sorry, I'm fixing my camera a little bit. We're actually trying to have little segments go on throughout our show. Dalton Cornett, who's been a super special guest for our show, he's been on there about 4 of the last 6 episodes we've done. But we've talked him into doing like a tech talk every Thursday where he gives us like a little clip. He'll come on possibly and talk with us of what he's going on. And let's see, today is Saturday, right? Thursday, 2 days ago, he actually was on there about a catchers. He's a big catcher for Alice Lloyd College. He even played a semi-pro, single A for Lexington Legends here in Kentucky. And he actually went through like one of his routines, what he'll do before the game. So we hope to entwine that throughout the shows as we go on, and I'm super excited for that. We're hoping to get him a GoPro to put on his helmet so he can be from behind the plate and giving us some pointers as well. I think it'd be kind of nice. But very happy to be on this show because basketball is the greatest sport alive.
We love basketball, and there's a pretty good game going on right now. I'm recapping that game after this, so I'll be recapping that game after Count the Bucket. I have a busy night ahead of me. Before we get into everything, Michael, why don't you go ahead and pull up that screen share and show the people our merchandise?
Oh, what
Yes,
there?
from
This you mean?
teespring.com. Yeah,
Yeah.
/store/unwrapped.
All right. Look at
Yeah,
these
all
great
the nice
stuff. Let me
people
see
on
here.
here.
Of course, the 19 is 2019 is when we first debuted. It's a wonderful number on there. I've about to grab my mug, but I don't have it with me. But look at all this sweet gear. You can bypass the LeBron James stuff. It's just on there for the people in LA. Keep on going. Let's see here. Did I already pass
Oh
up
my
the
goodness.
friends? Yeah, I think I did. But look at this backstop banter. I don't know who has that show, but man, that's a sweet shirt right there. Keep on
Promote
going down.
yourself, Michael. Promote
I'm trying
yourself.
my
It's
best,
okay.
trying my best. But
Hey,
in
that's some
all
ladies first gear.
in
Hey,
all
now we're
honesty,
cooking.
I am. I don't know if it's because I've got my kids and everything. I'll watch a lot of like cartoons and different things going on, but I love
Mhm.
your logo. And then also at the same time, kind of reminds me of Mickey Mouse every time I look at it. I don't know if I think these
The-
are like the Mickey Mouse ears. It just instantly I think of Mickey Mouse. I have no other reason for it though.
because the
But
froze in the middle and then the two balls at the top. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I seriously, like I've told you this numerous times, I think that's the best logo that we have on anything. I super like it.
Why, thank you.
And my
Thank
second
you.
favorite is this. I mean, my
Yeah.
goodness. And I'm gonna be honest, the
The
Prop
prop
Brothers, that's
bros.
pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, they had to change their schedule. So I think they're just gonna do the pod now. I think I saw in the messages because of
Oh, yep.
Alex's schedule has gotten crazy. They usually go on at 6 my time. They usually go on Bets Unwrapped does. But speaking of Bets Unwrapped, mybookie.ag.
Yes,
Use the
ma'am.
code USN100 to double your first deposit. I've taken a little mini break from betting on basketball, but I am going to get back into it probably tomorrow. So I started my journey Super Bowl Sunday.
Hmm.
My bets didn't go as planned. I'm pretty sure a lot of people's bets didn't go as planned because that game was a wash. I expected Kansas City to at least score one touchdown. They scored zero. And I read somewhere on Twitter where nobody betted KC not to score a
Really?
touchdown, which
Hmm.
you would have won a lot of money if you would have bet
Oh,
KC to
wow.
not score a touchdown. But nobody betted that. Nobody bet that. I mean, we thought the
Nobody
score was gonna be
would.
like, yeah, 45-38, but long behold, the score was a little different. But shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for winning Super Bowl. Shout out to Tom Brady for winning another Super Bowl. Shout out
Tampa
to Todd
Bay.
Bowles for winning that Super Bowl. Todd
shout
Bowles did
out
an
for
amazing job.
Fournette for being a really bad teammate and getting the boot, and then falling in the best team that you possibly could and winning a Super Bowl.
Playoff Lenny. Playoff Lenny. What's
It
up?
works. It
Playoff
works.
Lenny.
I mean, if
It
you really
works.
think about it, how funny is it that even AB got a championship ring now? You know, as the past 3 years that he's had, I mean, it
Yeah.
worked. Yes,
Look how
Grandma
life
was
turns
right.
for you. Look how life will turn for you if you just stay positive and get put in the right situation. And Tom
Oh yeah.
Brady backed him as well. Tom
Mhm.
Brady wanted him there. But I'm happy for Antonio Brown, not Anthony. Antonio Brown watching basketball. Antonio Brown and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles. Shout out to those two guys. Byron Leftwich put together a game
Oh yeah.
plan. And Todd Bowles, that defense. Oh my goodness.
I've been hearing a lot
That
about
defense.
Leftwich and just even the way the head coach there has really trusted him on the offense. I don't know if he'll stay an offensive coordinator very much longer, or if he'll have a
I don't either.
head
I don't
coaching
either.
position.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
what
don't
game are you
either.
watching?
I am watching the the Warriors and the Nets.
Oh, okay.
The Warriors and Nets. But I'm doing this show and watching the game. I can multitask. My TV's on mute. I'm in my room. But sore aching muscles. Sore aching muscles. We got
Good transition there.
We got rxhemp.com. Use the code rxhemp/USN and get 10% off your entire order. Your entire order, ladies and gentlemen, entire order. I know some people get that confused. Like, is it just one item, or if you just order one item, you get it off one item.
Your whole
guys,
purchase.
Use your common sense. Your whole purchase. Use your common sense. Common sense isn't so common these days. Also, we saved the best for last. We now have a Patreon. Yay! I saw the Keenan Allen jersey. I'm pretty sure, Michael, you saw it. It looks sweet.
It looks.
Oh my goodness. So
jealous.
the Discord goes bonkers when we talk about. We've been talking about the stock market. We've talked about betting, football,
Music.
basketball, music, baseball. We talk about everything, anything you want to talk about with the Unwrapped Sports Network. We have it. So check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Unwrapped Sports. You have options. You have the $1 a month option, the $5 a month option, and the $10 a month option. Now, each option gets you different types of access, right? So the $10 option gets you all the access to everything you need, plus discount codes, plus being in the running for that jersey from Keenan Allen, which I am because I have the $10 option.
Yeah. Nice.
So, like I told people, if I get that jersey, I will be showing it off because I don't win much. Like when it comes to like prizes, now as an athlete, I won a lot. Let me get that straight. But when it comes to prizes, I don't win much. I had to flex my muscle a little bit.
You sure did. I don't win much. I really don't. As an athlete.
I just have to throw that out there to you guys. But when it comes to like raffles and things like that, I never win.
I really don't think anybody wins.
Yeah, but you have that one person that has the luck of the Irish. Like you have that one person that wins.
All I think of is on Facebook all the time when I'm like, hey, if I share this, like it, and subscribe, then I have a chance to win. And it's like, oh, this person that won it's actually 17, so we're not going to give it to anyone. We're sorry. That's always my luck on it. It's like, does anyone really win it, or is this just a game? Like, oh, it turns out this person wasn't a part of life in general, so we can't give it to them. I think it's all made up. I don't know if that.
Yeah, I do as well. But we know this raffle is real. We are.
That's right. We have seen the jersey.
Yeah, we have seen the merchandise. We've seen evidence. We have receipts, as the young kids call it today. We have receipts. I think Michael's going to pull it up. There's a membership level right there.
Yes. Patreon, Unwrapped Sports, of course. And then here's the $1, the $5, the $10 per month. And it gives you everything. You get 10% off code for all the Teespring shops. And over here, also 20% off if you do the $10. And what's really great, guys, is me and Amber, we try to do this nonstop, really. Amber, way more dedicated than I am on this. So, I mean, she's probably got like 15 shows that she does from podcasts to everything else. But we do this basically as a hobby that we love to do, like we dedicate our lives to in a way. But just your memberships on this, even $1 actually helps us. This is one way that we can actually get some monetary for what we put into this, and a $10 membership for the fact that you get 20% off anything in the Teespring shop is great. But also, I don't see it. Looking for it, but you get like a gift card, right? A $10 off of an Amazon card, ain't it?
I
Or
think so. Or is that in the raffle?
I don't know. I must be wrong on that. I have to look more into it. But of course, and then every month with this, if nothing else, every month that you're with this, you get a chance to win at some material item of sports memorabilia. I know Perry on our last show with our Back South banter, we had him talk about Unwrapped Sports, and he said, this time it's a jersey, but next time it could be like a baseball autographed by somebody, or it could be just a helmet. I think he said he was even trying to do as well. So, I mean, just $10 a month to have a chance to win at that, I think it's going to be something special.
Absolutely.
Not to mention that you can entwine with us, interact with us on our Discord, and we can chat like crazy. You can put in your input as well. Sorry.
We love to have you guys' opinion. We love to, read. I read the comments all the time. I like to interact with people. On Twitter, I interact to a certain degree because some people just get way too deep into it, and Twitter's not that serious. But join the Discord. I'll interact with you. Everybody from the Unwrapped Sports Network will interact with you. So there's multiple people to interact with. I'm better when there's multiple people to interact with. I don't know about you, but I'm better when there's like multiple opinions rather than just me going back and forth with 30 threads on Twitter. Like I will not do that. I don't have the time. So I don't do that. Let's jump into today's show. We're talking
Let's
NBA.
Go.
All things NBA. Michael's happy his team won. I'm happy my college team won. Michael's happy his college team won. So we're feeling good tonight. We're feeling great tonight. MVP talk. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about who should be in the MVP discussion, who shouldn't be in the MVP discussion. What is a MVP? What are the requirements to be an MVP? And my top 5 MVP candidates, actually 2 of them are playing right now. I have a different perspective. I think if your team is not the top 4 in the conference, you should not be considered for an MVP. Now,
what? Keep going. I'm listening.
The voters honor winning. They do. They honor winning.
I agree. And that's something I've never liked about it. But go ahead. I'll listen to your points.
So Steph is in my top 5, but they're 8th in the West right now. But would they be anywhere close to this number without Steph? No. I mean, right now they're getting beat by almost 30 against the Nets, but without Steph averaging almost 30 a game, they wouldn't be anywhere close. I mean, it wouldn't even, they'd be like they were last year. They were a lottery team last year. So that's where it gets dicey with the MVP voting because Steph is the most valuable player to the Warriors by far. And when you look at players like LeBron James, is he more valuable than Steph is to the Warriors? Is LeBron James more valuable to the Lakers than Steph is to the Warriors? Because the Warriors have less around them than the Lakers do. So how do you construct it? Now, I'm going to give you my top 5 and you're going to give me your top 5. My top 5, no order. I got LeBron, the Joker, Joel Embiid, probably Kevin Durant, and probably Steph Curry. Those are my top 5. Now, it could be different for everybody else. You could put Giannis in there. People were saying Giannis. People were saying Dame. But those are my top 5 right now. And I think LeBron will win it. I would vote for LeBron to win it this season. Now, I did think Giannis deserved it last season, but I would vote for LeBron to win it because what he's done for the Lakers. Anthony Davis hasn't had the best season. He's admitted it. And the Lakers are 2nd in the West right now, playing very good basketball. LeBron is the ageless wonder. He's playing the least amount of minutes he's ever played in his career. I could also add Donovan Mitchell to that. Donovan Mitchell's played very, very well. He leads Utah in scoring, and they have the best record in NBA. So you could add Donovan Mitchell. He's in that conversation as well. But those are my top 5. You can just go ahead and give me your top 5. What you think about those MVP candidates?
My
Yours.
top 5 in no order because actually on the NBA, I'm just going to go the way I kind of listed them. And LeBron James. I'm not saying he's number one, but the NBA has him as number one because I do not have him number one. Joel Embiid, I have to agree with that. The Joker, I think, is top of the list for sure. I'm going to go with Kevin Durant just because he has such a storyline from being out from where he was hurt for the whole year, and now he's back and still playing top notch. So I think he has to be in there too. But my 5th is actually going to be, even though you kind of already spoiler alert, there is Mitchell. I really think
Donovan Mitchell.
the way that he's playing right now that he has to be in that. I mean, he even did an interview. I kind of read a little bit about that he kind of feels, and he's right in my opinion, is the MVP is not just the dominant player as far as scoring points, but it's also facilitating the whole team and playing as a team. Because my opinion, James Harden never should have won the MVP, even though he did so well. But like, I've never felt like he was a great team player like he is finally doing now. I'm actually glad he is finally starting to pass the ball. I think he realized he's not the best one on that team, so he has to pass the ball. And that's where I always kind of differed as far as picking an MVP in the past, is because James Harden was, in my opinion, and Houston was all about himself. And I feel like that from day one till the last day, and that's why I never really liked James Harden. But I mean, he would probably have the ball 80% of the time dribbling at the top of the key, and then finally say, "Okay, I'm going to shoot a three," and he makes it. So I mean, yes, it's great, but I just don't feel like that is a most valuable player because, in my opinion, Chris Paul, when he was in Houston, they were a better team. And I think Chris Paul was much more of a player teammate than James Harden. So now, do you want my order? Because
I don't have an order. You can give me your order, though. You can give me your order.
Well,
it's hard for me to pick an order.
Well, even by the stats, and this is while I was having lunch, this is what's crazy. And I wrote down some of the numbers, but I got it pulled up here too. I'm going this way. LeBron James, who they have as number one, is averaging 25 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. And they have him as number one. Joker is averaging 26.8 points a game, which is more than LeBron. He is averaging 11.8 rebounds per game, which is more than LeBron. And also, wrong person, averaging 8.6 assists, which is more than LeBron. And I think that assist numbers should rank him even more higher because this is a center that's got 8.6 assists per game. And really, even in our chat before, we kind of even talked about how Jamal Murray is not having his bubble season that he did. He's still good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take anything away from him. And they do have weapons, but so does the Lakers have weapons. I just feel like Joker is really carrying that team a lot more than what people give him credit for. And I do think it's kind of the small market cloud that you get here, kind of like we even talk about Utah. Utah never, and that's probably why Donovan Mitchell's not even on the list. So, I mean, I just feel like we've got to think about them a little bit. Let's see here. We've got a comment coming in. I'm clicking in. Amber is good.
Oh, Connie.
You know, I'll totally take that because every time him and Josh are on, I always say, "Josh, you're looking good as always." Hi, Connie.
You guys don't know that's his co-host for Backstop Banter.
Yes, thank you for popping in.
It's all family love. It's all family love, guys.
Listen, if you're not picking at somebody, you really don't love them. But that's my opinion. I really feel like Joker this year is the top person right now that should be the number one in everyone's MVP. What do you think on that? Do you agree with me any or not at all? But I mean, Donovan Mitchell, they even, like, he's not even on the top five, but like they had 11-game winning streak, I think. They're on a 7-1 right now. So, I mean, how is this guy not even in the talks with it?
Small market teams. And that Steph is a small market team, but they get more, they're a bigger small market team than Utah. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah.
Denver's a small market team, and the Joker's putting up crazy numbers, but the Lakers have a better record. I'm telling you, this is how the voters are going to think.
I know.
Donovan Mitchell is getting the Utah Jazz. I said this last night. The disrespect for the Utah Jazz is real. Giannis said this. This is what Giannis said. Mind you, they just played Utah last night. Giannis said, "I think Utah is the best team in the league. I think they're better than the Lakers. They look like they have a lot of fun together. They share the ball. They play well together." That's another small market, giving props to another small market.
Right.
And when you're a small market team, it just doesn't, people don't look at you for the MVP conversation. people aren't even paying attention to Utah. Utah 17-1 in their last 18 games. That one loss was to Denver. On that Sunday, I think me and Nick previewed the game before it came on. Mm-hmm. And you look at Utah and you're like, why are they so good? They are healthy. Utah's healthy. They have a system that works. Jordan Clarkson has found his role in Utah. Yes. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson. I think he's going to be a 6th Man of the Year candidate. Ooh. Donovan Mitchell's playing well. Even Rudy Gobert's playing well. For all the $205 million hype / bash I give Rudy Gobert. We all know how we felt about the $205 million. They have played great basketball. And this is a good transition to my next topic in top teams. They are the best team in the NBA. You cannot take that away from them. And people want to see them against the Lakers. People want to see them in playoff series, but you have to wait for that. You have to wait April or May, whenever the playoffs are going to start, for that. But right now, the eye test tells you that Utah is a great team. Mm-hmm. They play great team basketball. So if Utah is the best team in basketball right now, which I think they are, mm-hmm. who are your other 4 teams that give me your top? I'm not going to do East and West because the records are so skewed. It doesn't matter, East and West, because I'll put East and West together. So okay. Give me your top 5. If you give me 6, maybe
okay.
Throw one in there.
I may give like 20. Who cares? But okay, yeah. I just got done watching the Suns play today, and they look legit. Mm-hmm. I think they actually played 76ers today, and they won.
Yep, they did.
By a few points. I can't remember how many. I want to say it might have been double digits. Booker mm-hmm. looked great. Chris Paul's finally coming on a part of his own. That the 1-2 team right there matchup. I mean, not matchup, but the duel is working really well. I can't think of the center. Ayton. Yeah. Yeah. He's playing great, and if he could take that next step, I mean, that's a great 3 team right there. The big 3 as you have to have nowadays. I would like to see them make some kind of trade. I don't know what would be the best offer or option for them to on a trade, but I'd like for them to go ahead and buy into this year and just say, this is what we're pushing for. The time is now. Even Booker's super happy. I seen an interview where he's saying, this is what I've been playing for. All these years that it's been bad, it's happy to be playing as competitors. So this is their year that they really need to push for it, I think. I don't know. They need to make some type of noise, give up some first-round picks, give up some rookies, and just go all the way at it. You have to say the 76ers are up in the top, whatever. I won't say in any order, but, I mean, they're 18-9 right now. They're on a 2-game losing streak at the moment, but I feel like this team can easily – this team reminds me of your middle child. Like, when they're happy – they're great. You know, when you're in a good mood, everything's rolling great. But as soon as something goes wrong, it's like, I'm hurt. Everyone hates me. We're going to yell at everyone. We're going to fight. You know, we're going to call names, and then we're just going to quit. We're going to go to the corner, stomp our feet, and just bail out of the ship. Like, I'm waiting for the 76ers to have that moment. Like, they lose 3 more games in a row, and they're ready to trade somebody. Joel is all of a sudden hurt, and he's going to sit out for 15 games. So I can't buy into this team just yet because this is what they always do, like, trust the process. When is the process going to be over? Like, when are you going to actually say this process worked? So I can't say that I really buy this team because even with that, I'm looking here too. The Bucks are playing, of course, great. The Bucks are going to be in the top 5 every time, and I actually like this team better than I have it before because they've made some extra picks pickups, signs from free agency on their guards. They got some more plays that I think makes them more threat from the wings. Anytime Giannis gets a ball in the season, he's going straight down the lane and just going to dunk on somebody. We know that. But when it comes to playoffs, that doesn't work. So, again, I can't say I fully commit to this team in a playoff, but season, I think they're going to be the top 5 teams for sure. The Nets, we really don't know exactly how it's going to go. We're starting to see, as you can see now, I mean, they're destroying Golden State at the moment. Sorry, had a dust bunny falling from the sky here. So, I mean, the Nets have to be in that top 5 talk as well. The rest on the East, I'm going to put out, not even really talking in the top 5 on this. But watch out for the Heat. They were looking pretty good against Utah before we went live. I was watching it, but they're down at half now. But they jumped out like 13-2 run on them. And so the Heat are finally full health. Tyler Hero has still been in and out on protocols of some sort, but now he's back in to where he's playing now. So they are on a 4-game winning streak, so you could see them making some noise very soon. But I really feel like the title is going to belong to the West again. It's either going to be the Jazz, Lakers, or Clippers, but I really want to see a nice push by the Suns. So I would say
Okay.
a quick number through here. I think the Trailblazers are going to fall out. I mean, they're old. They're going to die out some. And, of course, they're not fully healthy either. We've got CJ. It's been out pretty much a month now. So, I mean, and that's what got me thinking with you, Amber, in our chat. Has there ever been another team that has two number zeros on the team? We got 0 and then 00. But
I'll ask my co-host, one of my co-hosts for Step Back Sisterhood, because she covers the Blazers. So I'll ask her tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So I would say 4 teams out of the West for sure, and that's me probably stretching a little bit for the Suns just because I love them. Devin Booker, a Kentucky player, so I gotta love that. And then I would say the best competitive team in there, I'm going to go ahead and say the Bucks over the 76ers, and I'll put the Nets right there with them. I'd probably put the Nets over the Bucks, just to be honest, because the Nets are still trying to gel right now at this moment, and still they're looking great. So I rambled for quite a bit. What's your top 5?
My top 5, I got the Lakers in there. Utah, I already said Utah's my top team. So all you Utah fans, I've already put Utah in their own category, okay?
Ooh,
they're my
nice.
top team. Because I know people you don't talk about Utah.
Utah. Utah.
There you go. Salt Lake City, baby.
Can we just be honest real quick before you start on that, since we are talking about Utah? Can we ask them to change that court? I mean, that court does not look nice. I mean, it actually has
the red with the red uniform throws me off. Like, it makes my head spin. Like, for some reason, like it's
like I feel like I'm having a colorblind test. Like, can you see all these colors? I mean, and then the state, it's actually the logo at half court is just the state. I was like, really? Is this the best we could come up with? Like, I mean, make the lake.
Utah.
Okay.
Gotta love Utah.
Carry on.
Okay. Now. It's okay. It's all right. So I got the Lakers. I think the Nets are going to be there. You know what? And as much as they don't play defense, they've played pretty good defense tonight. The Warriors only have 92 points, and we're 5 minutes through the fourth quarter. So it's 118-92. The Nets were giving up like 147 to the Hawks. So,
right.
The Nets are going to be there. They're going to be in my top 5. So I got the Lakers and Nets. I will keep Philly in there. I'll keep Philly in there because I trust Doc Rivers more than most people do. The way that Doc Rivers has that team playing is great. I mean, Seth Curry's playing great. Joel Embiid is playing at an MVP type level. We've talked about that. And Ben Simmons is not giving you the numbers, but the production on defense, what he's doing on defense has been amazing. And all those pieces just kind of fit in together there with 76ers. So I trust that process. Okay. I know. I trust that process. They got a new coach. Brett Brown was not the right coach for that team. So who we have? We got the Lakers, the Nets, 76ers. Of course, I have Utah. Phoenix today. Phoenix is playing well, man. I watched most of that game. I'm only missed probably maybe one quarter of that game. I watched when Devin Booker got extremely hot and he could not be stopped in the third quarter. I think he had 16 or something like that in the third quarter. And they were playing extremely well. They are a team that you do not want to see in the playoffs. I believe they are a team you don't want to see in the playoffs because Devin Booker gets hot. It's hard to stop him. Chris Paul can score anytime he wants to. He's still showing that. DeAndre Ayton is playing better as of late. Go ahead.
Chris Paul had a triple-double tonight. He was 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double.
Short. Yeah. And they took him out. I was like, Monty, why did you take him out? But it was like a minute and a half left. And the game was pretty much over with. So I like Phoenix.
And I think Bridges is just now back from being hurt too, ain't he? Bridges was hurt.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges. Yeah, he's back. Mm-hmm. And a team that people aren't talking about much, but they're playing probably the best. They're playing better basketball than they were last season is the Clippers. The Clippers are a team that people aren't talking about them much because they're not causing a lot of hoorah. I think they need to go out and get Rajon Rondo because they need a pure point guard because I don't think it's working with him in Atlanta. I think if the Clippers can somehow get a 3-team trade with Atlanta and somebody else to package John Collins and Rondo, because Rondo wants to go to a contender. John Collins wants to get paid. So you can't package them together necessarily.
Right.
Because the Clippers and John Collins, it doesn't fit. So you can do a 3-team trade, right? Throw a third team in there and get Rondo to the Clippers, which I thought should have happened this offseason, and get John Collins to a team he wants to play for and to get paid. He turned down 4 years, $80 million from the Hawks. I'm not sure how much he's going to be asking for. But if the Clippers get Rondo, they close that gap a little bit more. I just think that if Pat Bev came off the bench, which he does not mind doing, he's that type of team player, he's that type of guy. You get Rondo there, you're starting point guard, or you can bring Rondo off the bench. I don't necessarily like Reggie Jackson off the bench because he's a scoring point guard. He's not necessarily a distributor. He can't get everybody where they need to be. That's what the Clippers need. And Kawhi and Paul George creating their own offense. They need a point guard to help create their offense. Now, they can create their own offense, no problem, but it's less stress when you have a point guard like Rondo that can help you get into the offense. So those are my top teams in the NBA.
And it'd be good too, just because those Paul George and even Leonard could catch the ball in certain situations and have an easy score because Rondo threads that needle like he does. Kentucky. Some
amazing.
easy baskets would be great from them.
Would be lovely. I would love to see that as a Kawhi Leonard fan. I would love to see that. Now the Bucks are a team that you have to put in there because the Bucks, but I don't trust the Bucks in the playoffs. I've said this numerous times. I've been saying it since last year. It's something about the Bucks I cannot trust in the playoffs. And I caught the upset of the Heat beating the Bucks in the playoffs last year. And I want to trust the Bucks. I really do. But it's just something about the Bucks I don't trust. Those top 3 teams in the East are what? Philly, the Bucks, and the Nets. Now, the Celtics are having a weird season. I don't think Kemba Walker's healthy. I honestly think they need to move on from Kemba because he has not been healthy, and the Celtics want to win now. They're designed to win now.
Yeah.
So I think if it's March, when is the trade deadline this season? Did they say when the trade deadline was this season?
Who knows? Everything's crazy this year.
I don't know when the trade deadline is, but I think they need to see what the market is for Kemba. And that's probably an unpopular opinion, but he's just not healthy.
Well, and
the Celtics need to win now.
And he's struggled quite a bit. I mean, just even like mental struggles too. Like, last time I think I was on here to talk basketball with you was when he was like 0 for 11, and then they had that steal to take a shot and win the game, and he was the one that took it and he still missed. I mean, it doesn't seem like the fit is working at the moment. Now, Kemba's a great player. We know that, and we will always think that. But right now, this system is not working for him. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's no bad beef towards him. I mean, he's a good player. I think he's used to having the ball more, like being the one guy, and he's still trying to force it when the coach is trying to call other plays and get things going on. And it's not there for him yet. So, yeah.
I think Peyton Pritchard should be their starting point guard. Go ahead. And
I even think Rondo would be good in that situation too.
Yeah, he would. And I was going to say that, but I didn't know how Rondo talked about going back to the Celtics.
Right. We know how that was.
We know how that worked. I mean, he got a ring, but we know how that worked. But Peyton Pritchard has played very well for the Celtics. And, Jeff Teague is Jeff Teague. But Peyton Pritchard has probably surprised Celtic Nation by how well he's played. And if you decide to move on from Kemba Walker, which I think they should, and Peyton Pritchard's your starting point guard, and you still have Marcus Smart coming off the bench, he's that spark plug off the bench, then I think that works. You can even start Marcus Smart some games. You know what I mean? So that works. That works. And Peyton Pritchard is the ultimate point guard. He is just the ultimate point guard. And he was like that at Oregon. Go Ducks. Quack, quack. And he's like that in the NBA. And he's scoring a little bit more in the NBA. So I like what I'm seeing from Peyton Pritchard. The Celtics, I want to put them as a top team, but I need to see a little bit more. I really want to see Kemba healthy, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to see that this season unless, I don't know. It's just the game schedule is so tight because there's only 72 games and they're not spread out as much. In the second half of the season, you're probably going to get more back-to-back. So it's going to be tough for Kemba to kind of get fully healthy. Like I think it's going to be tough for Russell Westbrook to get healthy. Speaking of Russell Westbrook and disappointments, who are your disappointing teams in the NBA? Because the Washington Wizards are one of mine. I thought they would be better than they are now, but they're one of my disappointing teams. So you tell me a couple of teams you are disappointed in thus far.
I'm really disappointed in the Hawks. I mean, we kind of talked about them earlier, but the noise that they made this offseason, we kind of expected a little more from them, or at least I did. I thought they were going to kind of compete in the East for something. I won't say they'd been number one, but I wouldn't have thought at this point they would have a losing record and be in the 10th in the East. Definitely thought the Knicks wouldn't be ahead of them, or even the Hornets, which the Hornets got a decent team, especially with Ball playing out like he is right now. So, I mean,
goodness, he's playing so well.
Who I actually think should be the Rookie of the Year, just throwing that out there. But as far as real disappointments, I just feel like the Hawks would have been better than what they're showing us, and I'm kind of disappointed right now in the Mavericks. They're on a 4-game winning streak at the moment, but I do feel like they're going to come around a little more, but I really wouldn't have thought they'd be in the ninth seed right now. And the Pelicans, I even think the Pelicans, we thought more from them as well, but what is their record? They're 11-14, same record as the Hawks. So those are my two disappointments, I think.
Now, is there any player that you've been disappointed in this season?
LeBron James, every day. Every day, LeBron James. My goodness.
Besides LeBron.
Let's see here. Player, I have to think on that one a little bit. I'll let you go ahead with that if you've got one, and I'll try to think. Do you have one that you're disappointed with?
Player Jamal Murray. I thought Jamal Murray would easily average 24, 25 a game. I thought Jamal Murray would continue that streak from the bubble. Remember, I was saying, I said this in a show previously, that the bubble, you can take that momentum from the bubble. The Phoenix Suns have taken that momentum from the bubble. People are like, oh, yeah, right. They're not. I'm telling you, Karis LeVert took that momentum from the bubble this season. And he was playing very well for the Nets until, he got traded, found out about his condition, and we're all praying for Karis LeVert because I think he's going to be great in Indiana. Get TJ Warren back. Got the Holiday brothers there. They got a good team there. And, of course, you got Sabonis there, who looks like his dad every day, but a little bit more scoring prowess. But I thought that Jamal Murray would take that next step. I did, and I thought he would be that guy. I also thought that he would lead Denver in scoring this season. I can honestly say that. I thought he would lead Denver in scoring this season, but he has not. So Jamal Murray's my disappointing player. Disappointing teams, I said the Wizards, the Pelicans, the Mavs, but I think the Mavs will get it together, but when? When are you going to get it together?
Right.
Get it together, Mavs. In the East, the Heat, they haven't been healthy, though, so I can't really call them a disappointment. The Raptors have been a disappointment.
Well, actually, I was looking down here, and I was thinking Lowry, actually. I mean, I kind of feel, as far as even just looking here through my app on the fantasy as the top players, I mean, he's way down there on just averaging on that as well. And I do think that they may have to trade there somewhere soon.
He's been in trade talks. He's actually been in trade talks. Yeah.
So, I mean, and it'd be a great trade for anyone. Like if he ended up a Clipper, that would be phenomenal, I think.
Oh yeah, that would. That would be a good fit as well. He needs to go to a contender this late in his career. I know he has a ring, but he needs to go to a contender. I mean, the Toronto organization owes him that. Well, the Tampa Bay Toronto Raptors owe him that. And I think that Masai Ujiri will give him that. I honestly think if he said, okay, guys, I've had my run in Toronto. We've had our good run. It's not working anymore. It's time for me to move on. I think they will give him that. When DeMar DeRozan moved on, they got Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. So you see what he did for DeMar DeRozan. He took him to San Antonio, and he's played very well.
He's balling out this year. That's probably a surprise on that.
We're going to get into surprise teams next and surprise players. But I didn't want to spoil it. But, that's just what it is. I really believe that Kyle Lowry this could be his last season in Toronto/Tampa, where they're in Tampa right now with the Raptors. I think this could be it. I don't see him being there longer, especially with Fred VanVleet playing the way he's playing, and they paid Fred VanVleet. So I think they're going to move on from him, and that's fine. I really think that's fine. He gave that city all he had, got him a championship, got that LeBron hump, even though LeBron moved to the West when he won it, but he did keep quiet and Danny Green. Pascal Siakam, they want him to take that next step. I've been disappointed in his play as well. So the Toronto Raptors, I'm a little disappointed in them. All right, let's make that transition. Surprises. Any surprises for you?
Gordon Hayward
Besides
for one.
Utah.
Are we players or teams?
Both.
Okay. Players, well, since we're on it, I've kind of looked at this. Gordon Hayward, I think, is definitely a big surprise while he's played since leaving the Celtics. I'm going to say surprise in a bad way. I guess it's still probably a disappointment as I see his name is Ja Morant. I kind of feel like I'm let down with him this season. My expectations was a next step from what he played last year. And I won't say that it's a bad thing, like a big drop off, but I'm surprised, I guess, more than I am disappointed in it. I think Fox has finally stepped up a little more this year, and it's been a big surprise on what he's been doing there. I'm also surprised that Drew Holiday hasn't done more with Milwaukee. Again, it's not a disappointment, but I'm at least surprised. I do think he'll play a big part in the playoffs. I think when they get there, that will actually be okay, Drew. This is why we got you. We've ran this offense all season long. Giannis is taking it down, but now we need someone in the half court offense. We're going to put the ball in your hand. We're going to get Giannis to set you a pick, and we're going to get some mismatches and switch that way, or even vice versa. Even when LeBron was in Cavaliers and he was ball dominant, they actually had the guards picking there so you could get the switch. I mean, set a pick from a guard with Giannis with the ball, turn around, back him all the way down, play bully ball, half court offense. If they don't switch, you've got a pick going where Giannis full head of steam, taking a guy who's a step behind him, he's going to be dunking. We know that he's 7'19". So I think Drew Holiday needs to step up, or we need more of a presence with him. Otherwise, why did you get rid of Eric Bledsoe? Because that's basically what we got going on right now. Surprise, John Wall with his injury. I'm happy that we're seeing a little bit better from him. We didn't know exactly what to expect, or at least I didn't. And another Kentucky player, I'm glad he's being able to be back to somewhat of himself. And it was a big surprise. Let me look through here a little bit more and try to come up with like this. Oh, well, I kind of feel like Gordon Hayward is a big O for me. Of course, Kevin Durant, we already said that. It's kind of not a surprise that he's playing great, but it's a surprise that he's playing as great as he is from that injury. So
yeah.
So I will stop there. What are your team or player surprises?
Player surprises. Jerry Grant has been playing out of his mind for Detroit. I see why he left Denver. Just like I see why James Harden had to leave OKC to go to Houston. I see why Jerry Grant left Denver. And he went to Detroit, got paid, and he's probably in the most improved candidate conversation. He is in the most improved candidate conversation. I'm not surprised by Christian Wood. He was doing this late last season for the Detroit Pistons. He's hurt right now, but he's playing very well. I'm not surprised with that. I'm going to throw a rookie in there. I'm going to show LaMelo Ball some love. You know what I mean? I'm going to show LaMelo Ball some love. He's more aggressive than
quickly. Dang it.
I was going to say him too. Thank you for the spoiler. I'm going to show rookies love. Some rookies, this rookie class has surprised me. And Anthony Edwards, Wiseman when he's healthy, Quigley, who should be their starting point guard for the Knicks. You bring Derrick Rose off the bench, you get rid of Elfrid Payton. That's just the way it should be.
Yes.
LaMelo Ball has been balling out, playing well, being aggressive. He's more aggressive than his brother is on offense. So I like the way LaMelo plays, even though Lonzo's more aggressive on defense. Lonzo can play some darn defense. Now, this player might surprise you as surprises that I'm surprised with. It might shock a lot of people, but I am surprised at the type of numbers that the Joker is putting up.
Oh, yeah.
That is a pleasant surprise for a big man to control that offense the way that he does and to get everybody the shots they want, put them in the positions they want to be in. I think that is a huge surprise for me. Also, the month of February, Melo's been averaging 20 plus.
Ooh.
It's not really a surprise because he can put the ball in the hole, but people wrote Melo off. But he's averaging in this month 20 plus per game. I mean, he went bonkers in the fourth quarter against the 76ers. And without that, the Blazers don't win that game.
Oh, yeah.
So those are my surprise players. I have to show the rookie some love. And of course, I'm surprised Anthony Davis isn't playing well right now, but I'm pretty sure he'll get it going. He has some Achilles soreness, so they're trying to be cautious with that. They don't want him to be injured or be hurt because that really ruins their championship chances, honestly, because as good as LeBron is, I don't think he wants to carry that team like that going to the finals. I don't think he wants all that on his shoulders.
Sorry, I left a comment on here. That's me. You don't have to go with it. Where I share this on my Facebook, I've got people commenting on my Facebook, but we're not seeing it on the actual thing here. We've got a couple people. One of my buddies, he's straight up LeBron GOAT. That's all he said. Even in my Facebook post saying that I was going live, he said it's hands down LeBron is the MVP. I said, dude, you can't say that. And he goes, he's 40 years old and he's better than half the players. He deserves it. I'm like, you can't give it to him just because he's 40. That's not how it works.
The age MVP.
Yeah, I mean. He's 55 and he's still mediocre, so MVP. But yeah, so and then I've got a couple more comments. And again, I live in Kentucky. Half of these comments are about Kentucky basketball players in the NBA, so we're happy about that. One guy said Wizards will get worse because Bill is going to be traded. Alan Langford's his name. I totally agree with that. I think Bill will be out the door sometime soon. Where do you think that he may end up at?
Bradley Beal, I want to see him in Miami, but it might look like Houston might make that trade with Victor Oladipo to Miami. So either I want to see him in Miami. I'm trying to think. Miami is the only place I can think of where he could fit with that team and that team could win now. You know what I mean? Like they could win now.
What kills me about the Heat, and the Heat's probably my favorite team. I mean, it's been back for when Jamal Mashburn even played there. So in the 90s, way back there. Alonzo Mourning.
What do y'all know about that, young kids?
So, yeah.
Tim Hardaway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning, you know what I mean? We can just throw them out there, throw the names out
so
there.
I'm going way back. It's crossover. But anyways, what kills me, and again, I love this team, is I don't know how you can add a player or a star player to this team and still keep what they did in the bubble at mind. Like, the coach Eric, he did a wonderful job there, and I feel like if you bring in a star that takes away kind of the team ball that they play, like even Golden State with the stars that they have, but they're still pass, and then somebody's open for a 3 shot. But then you look at even I'll say the Lakers, and it's why I hate LeBron is one person gets the ball off 20 seconds in the shot clock. Okay, now I'm going to actually shoot the ball. I feel like that's going to hurt Miami Heat more if they bring in a superstar power player like that. Because, I'm thinking Robinson, where do you play him? Like, obviously, if you bring in anybody, it's probably going to be better than Robinson, but he's knocked down threes. And the way they run the offense it's perfect for him. Even Tyler Hero is the same person as Robinson with better penetration moves and be able to drive. So those two players, you're just going to trade for someone else and put them out? I mean, I don't think you're going to do that. So, I mean, do you get rid of Andre Iguodala, who is your defensive guy at the 4? I mean, Bam's not going to go anywhere. So, I mean, what guy in this core are you going to take out to have a superstar come in? I feel like they're at a point where they're matched so well that you can't really mess with that. But I do think they have to get over the hump.
Yeah. So, do you give up your assets to win now? Because you almost would have to give up either Duncan or Tyler. And
I don't think Hero will go in. Yeah.
He doesn't want to do that. I would give up Duncan. Listen, shooting in the NBA is so important. If you don't have it, you cannot win. And that young man can shoot the basketball.
He can have a JJ Redick career.
He can. And now, let's say this. Hold on.
Uh-oh, you're about to say send him to the Celtics in the East?
If you could get JJ Redick, right? Okay. So if you can package Bradley Beal and JJ Redick together, but it's just too much money, though, because JJ is making too much money.
But at some point, JJ's got to say, you know what? I would like a ring, so take my
Yeah,
money
but
and
he
give
wants to
me a
go to a
ring.
contender, and the Heat.
Right.
I think the Heat were on his lit. Well, no, he said the Nets or the Knicks. I think he has a home in New York. That's why he said
Wait,
that.
wait, wait, wait,
But
wait, 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 wait. Are we saying the
he
Knicks
said
are
the
a
Nets.
contender?
No. No, but that's what his preferred destination. He said the
Okay.
Nets or the Knicks
I
because I
see him
think he
going
has
back.
a home in New York. I think
Okay.
that's why. I want to say that's why. But the Nets are not. I mean, the Knicks are not a contender. The Nets are, but the Knicks aren't. But the Knicks have the cap room. If that makes sense. They have the cap space, but I don't see how JJ fits in with the Nets. I think they have enough shooting with the Nets. I just think they do. They need defense. The Nets need defense. They don't need more scoring. They need defense. So that's why I think Amon Shumpert, whenever he comes back, that'll be great. They did hold the Warriors to under 120, which was great tonight. They played a very good game. Bradley Beal, the only place I can see is Miami. Boston has what they have. They have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I don't think either one of those guys want to take a step back and be a number 3. I just don't see that. Their games have progressed too much for that. I would have said Toronto. He could be nice in Toronto if you had him, Fred VanVleet,
And keep Lowry.
Pascal C. Because the Heat don't need Lowry. They don't need another point guard.
That backcourt's going to be like 5'9".
Yeah, he said, what about Bill for Lowry? They don't need another point guard in Miami because they have Kendrick Nunn's playing out of his mind right now. And then you still have Dragic, he resigned. And you still have Avery Bradley, which he's not a point guard, but they have too many guards. I think they're in Miami for that trade to go down.
And even
you didn't resign Dragic, and if Nunn wasn't getting the minutes, then
yes, sir. Sorry, that's my boy.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Like I even think Kelly Olynyk. Anywhere else, yes, it's probably the 6th, 7th, or 8th man, but the way they play well together, he works out with that. Because what's great, and I might be losing connection. I'm sorry, I just got a Wi-Fi notification here. But on defense, 1 through 5, well, Kelly Olynyk can't. We know he's on a 5. But then when we to the offense, Bam plays the 5 on the offensive side, and Olynyk can shoot the 3. So it kind of just works in hand and foot with that team perfectly to go that route. So, I mean, I just feel like this team almost just has to improve. Now, I do think Bradley Beal could probably come in. And, of course, you're going to have to lose, like we said, Duncan. I mean, he's probably just going to have to be your trade piece and a draft pick or something if you got there.
Yeah.
Because I think Hero can still play the Robinson role, but he can also drive as well. So I don't think Tyler Hero will be going anywhere because he's a Kentucky boy, and Pat Riley is from Kentucky as well, or played for Kentucky as well. Yeah. So that's my thing. But what about that? What if Bill went to Clippers? Because I mean, that would be great for them.
They can't. Can they afford it? Well, Bomber spend money on anything. So I mean, that's. But who would be the third guy and take that back seat for the Clippers? They need a point guard. They don't need any more scoring.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. That when you think about teams that already have 2 stars, 2 superstars, the Clippers already have 2. The Lakers have 2. Denver, but he's not gonna. Jamal Murray is not gonna be the third wheel, and Michael Porter Jr. wants to be that third guy. Actually, he wants to be number 1 guy, but it just isn't looking like he's going to be that. Phoenix, could he play in Phoenix? I like what Phoenix has. I like the system they play with. If you added him with Book and Chris Paul, that would be great. But we don't know how long Chris Paul will be in Phoenix.
Right.
Is Bill looking for something long term? Is he looking for something short term? When you look at teams that have a chance, because Phoenix, they are 4th in the West right now, so they have a chance. They are a playoff team. I thought the Wizards would be a playoff team. But Toronto intrigues me because they don't have a number 1 guy. I mean, they have Fred VanVleet. They thought Pascal Siakam would be that guy, but he's been up and down this season. So if you look at Bill in Toronto, that looks good, but they don't need Lowry.
Right.
They don't need Lowry in Miami. So you would have to probably throw a third team in there, unless Pat Riley says, okay, we'll take Lowry. And you probably could take Lowry, but you will have Lowry, Jimmy Buckets, Duncan Robinson, or Hero, whoever's starting, Bam, and who's their 5 now? Yeah,
They,
so yeah, because Dragic came off the bench last year. Kendrick
and
Nunn
he
is ridiculous right now. Like, how do you screw Kendrick Nunn out of his minutes when he's been playing very
exactly.
well? So it could work with Lowry, but they would have to give up a point guard. Like Kendrick Nunn would probably have to
Hmm.
go. So you would probably have to trade Kendrick Nunn, and Kendrick Nunn. Ooh, they're getting spanked by the Jazz right now. Kendrick Nunn has how many points tonight? He has 13. So I mean, but they're getting spanked, and he's their leading scorer right now.
Oh
So
wow.
he's their leading scorer. They have 13. They have 69. Utah has 92. So Utah is running away with that
Ooh.
game. But Kendrick Nunn has been playing extremely well. So if you package Kendrick Nunn and Duncan for Lowry and get Bill, right?
Lowry
Hold on.
and Beal.
Wait a minute. That'd be a 3-team. It would have to be a 3 because at Washington, right? Hold on. Let me think about this, Michael. So we would have
This is
because you
awfully
have to
tough.
because if you bring Bill in, somebody has to go.
Hmm.
So they would have to get a third. If say for instance, if Bill went to Toronto, right?
Okay.
So we got Bill in Toronto
And then
for
Lowry to the
Lowry.
Heat.
Lowry to the Heat, and then you would have to probably send Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn to the Wizards. 3-team trade, right? I did say that right. So that'd be 3 teams because you have 3 teams involved.
Hmm.
Could
I
that
could see
work
him.
in a pick?
Because
Because the
yeah,
Wizards are just they need a lot.
yeah, and I think the Wizards would be happy with draft picks if they could get one player cash and some draft picks or something to that effect. I think that'd be good for them too. Uh, I'm
Yeah.
thinking here. I mean, even if you got none in a first round next year or something to that effect, or whatever the picks they have, I don't know how people can keep up with picks and what years and all that jazz. Want to
It's a
remove
lot.
unsecured and all that stuff, but yeah, I could see that. But now that we're talking this, and we're probably way over what you wanted to talk about on this. I could see one of these Bill or even Lowry going to the Mavericks and making a big impact there. Free up Luka just a tad bit. I mean, I do think Luka's going to have the ball 60, 70% of the time, anyways, but just a setup shooter over there that can take some pressure off of him with the unicorn in there as well. I mean, that would be a nice little 3.
It would, but Bill doesn't fit in with Dallas. You want to know why? Because Bill is the number one guy. Like Bill wants to be the guy.
I agree.
I
I
think.
agree. But do you think
And,
Bill would be the no? Oh, you're saying Bill at Toronto. I'm sorry. Lowry was the going there. Okay. I'm with you.
mhm. Now, if they got somebody like Lowry in Dallas, but Luka likes playing a point guard position, so he likes being a point guard. I don't see Luka off ball much. I don't see him off ball much. I think he can play off ball, but I think Lowry can play off ball. That could work for Lowry in
Mhm.
Dallas if we're thinking about where Lowry could go. If Toronto/Tampa Bay wants to move on from him.
Toronto Bay.
Bill though, that's dicey. That's dicey with Bill because Miami is going to have to give up something to get him. And as much as he says he's okay with everything in Washington, I know he's not. I
No,
know
you
he's
can see the
not.
frustration.
You can see it on his face, and I want more for Bradley Beal. I really do. I think Bradley Beal needs to go to a contender,
He needs to go
and
to the Spurs
that could work. That
because
could actually work.
DeMar is
But
playing out, but yet we know that
yeah,
he can't be the one. I think DeMar would say, you know what, I've had my time at the one. You come here. It's your team. I'm going to help as much as I am right now. And who's their big man? I see his face, but I cannot think of his name.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yes, Aldridge. I mean, that'd be a nice little 3-man team right there. And they're right
But
there at the middle of the pack.
you know what's wrong with that?
Uh-oh.
You would have to swap DeMar DeRozan for Bill because they play the same position. A and B, the Spurs are younger everywhere else. So they
Right.
have their young core. They got Lonnie Walker, they got White, they got
That's
DeJounte
true.
Murray, they got Keldon Johnson. They have a young core already
That's
there.
true. That's true.
So where does the
You
minutes come
wouldn't want to
from?
get older.
Patty Mills still gives you production off the bench. So if you did say, okay, Bill, we want to bring you into San Antonio, DeMar DeRozan would have to go.
I agree.
Would have to go. You would just upgrade from DeMar DeRozan to Bradley Beal, but the way they're currently constructed, those young guys are getting more minutes and the Spurs are getting younger. They're basically rebuilding, but not rebuilding because they still have LaMarcus, and DeMar DeRozan's been playing out of his mind lately. But they're winning games. They're winning a lot of games. And I think that Pop is happy, RC Buford and Pop are happy with the team they have. Mm-hmm. But if that was to happen, DeMar DeRozan would have to go because you would just swap those two players. They play the same position. Now, that Miami, it just intrigues me, but I think it would be a 3-team deal. I think it would have to, you have to involve someone else to get Bradley Beal there.
I would actually would love for Rondo to go to Miami. I think that would be nice because the defense mentality that he has, the presence that he has in the locker room, I think that would be sweet. Free up Jimmy Butler on point guard, let him just do his thing on the wing, get him isolation.
Yeah.
And you're getting a guy who's done it, who's got rings on his fingers, that can be a big head in the locker room, which I already feel like Miami is this the world against me kind of mentality. And that's just straight up Rajon Rondo's personality anyway. So I actually think that would be good. Even if he is, maybe it's something where it's a trade where they do lose Dragic and they bring in Rondo for veteran. I don't want to lose Dragic because he's great minutes off the bench, which he's not played any tonight. I don't know if there's something going on there. But, I mean, he hasn't
been healthy. He hasn't been healthy this season.
Because, I mean, he was averaging like 20 points off the bench last year, and he was the star of the second string, basically. So I don't see him doing anything with Dragic, but that would be nice if we could get a Rondo person into that team.
Yeah, but you would have to get rid of Nunn, probably, or Dragic. Either one you probably have to get rid of to get Rondo, because he would essentially be your backup point guard. Because you got Avery Bradley there. He's going to be missing some time. I think Avery Bradley should be back around March, probably mid to late March. You get him back, that's your defense, right? That is a huge key piece that you're missing. I'm all in for Rondo to the Clippers. I'm all in on that. Whatever.
And I think that's good too. Just for the fact that he was in LA and won, and they didn't sign him back.
Yeah, and when they got Dennis Schroeder, I think that was writing on the wall. Like, okay, we got Dennis. We have Caruso. We're happy with Caruso. So we're going to move on and get Dennis Schroeder, and that makes sense. It made sense for the Lakers. I think Rondo, it made sense for Rondo as well. But if you can put him in a Clipper uniform, I've said that since free agency. I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to release Rondo. And a lot of teams are going to be more like contending teams, I think, are going to be in the sweepstakes for Rajon Rondo. But I would love to see him in a Clippers uniform.
I would agree.
Yes. Now, before we end the show tonight, I did my all-star starters, right? I did my all-star starters on Ladies First. Who are your all-star starters?
Oh, man. Shoot. You put me on the spot here.
It's okay.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can. Let me get on something here where I can pull up like the people they've got real quick.
Okay.
Well, heck, let me see if I can go this route. As bad as I hate to say it, LeBron, of course, is one. Joker again, two. Or you want me to do positions like they allow so many spots? Or just
you're going to have your two leading vote getters, which I'm going to tell you right now are LeBron and KD. So they'll be your captains. Okay. And then you'll have the fans vote for the starters in the East and West, but of course they get to pick who they want because it's a pick 'em now. So they get to pick who they want to start for their teams. But we're just going to go East and West. And then the coaches vote. I think the coaches and the media vote everybody else. So I'm telling you who your two captains are thus far. Yeah. They're going to be LeBron and Kevin Durant. We all know that. So LeBron for the West and Kevin Durant for the East, and then give me your starters for both conferences, which will be kind of mixed up, but when they pick, but
Okay, it's going to be. I don't like to vote, as they say in the betting, the squares. The ones that are like automatically going to be there, even though they shouldn't. Like, I've got just looking here. I'm going to go with Devin Booker because he's a great player on that team, and I think he is a star that he has to deserve to be on that spot.
Okay.
I also got Luka Doncic. I think he's a phenomenal player. He is top 5 in my book. Looking through here for my third guard. I mean, you have to go Steph Curry. I mean, how do you not?
Okay.
Oh, well, not let me. Can I only vote for 2 guards?
Yeah, you can only vote. There's only 2 guards, and there's 2 guards, and there's a power forward, small forward, and your center. Well,
Oh,
quote unquote.
man, that's tough. How do I put Booker over Steph Curry? Okay, sorry, Booker, you got the boot. All right, we're going with Curry and Luca.
Okay.
Let's see here. How do I back out to go to the other one? Okay, I got it. Let's see here. Joker, definitely. I mean, I feel like he is the MVP top guy right now.
You're
I'm going to
avoiding
go.
it. You're
I
avoiding
really am.
LeBron.
I really
He's a
am.
leading vote getter. He's a captain, so he's going to be a star. It's okay, Michael. It's all right. It's okay.
I'm trying my best to say Anthony Davis is even better than him. Let's see here. Okay, LeBron James and Leonard are my 3 small, or my others. So I've got Joker, James, Leonard, Curry, and Doncic. I say that so weird.
Luka Doncic, yeah.
Yes.
Doncic.
Luca.
Luka. We're just going to say Luka.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going over to the East. And I can't
go
stand
to the
Joel. Joel, but I mean, he's playing a phenomenal year, so Embiid has to be in there. Durant, of course, is in there, and Giannis. I mean, it's the top 3 on that. I think that's no argument in my book. Now we're going to the guards.
This is where it gets dicey, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, Bradley Beal, I think, deserves it. He for sure deserves it.
Oh yeah.
But Zach LaVine has played well.
Yeah. That second guard gets a little dicey.
Yeah, because I mean,
second guard gets dicey.
I have no problem not voting for Kyrie Irving. That's easy because he's not played that much, and I just don't like him as a player. He thinks the world's flat.
Blame it on the Duke education. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course, I'm a Kentucky fan.
Yep.
I kind of look through here. I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine. I think they're the top 2 guys right now. I mean, I know their team's not playing well, but how can you really not go with them? Who did you put? I can't remember who you did. I watched you do it.
Now, I think I had Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Joel. Bradley Beal. Mm-hmm. Who was my other guy? It wasn't Trey. Or was it Trey? Hold on, let me go back. Let me hold on, guys. Let me check my timeline. Ooh, that was a long time ago. I'm probably not gonna be able to find it. Let me go to my photos. Maybe I took a picture of it. Let me see if I took a picture of it. It was Trey. I did put Trae Young in there. Yeah, I put Trae Young in there because I'm a homer. Like I said on my show, I'm a homer. I want to see Trae Young in there, even though he's like 6th or 7th in votes right now. But that's my 5 for the East. And for the West, I had Steph, Dame, Kawhi, the Joker, and LeBron.
Okay.
But I mean, it's going to be different. But hey, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at these East guards. I mean, Kyrie Irving, like I said, hasn't really played. Zach LaVine, who's had a good season this year and is a star, don't get me wrong. But you think he's the Bulls, nobody's really going to watch them too much. And then even Jaylen Brown, who is the next guy here.
I wanted to put Jaylen in so bad.
I want to pick him, and I think he's a great player, but when I see Jaylen Brown, I don't think all-star game. You know, like it's the flashy, do all this cool stuff.
So I put Trae Young in.
And that's what I'm saying. I can understand your vote.
Yeah.
But that's why I can see people passing over Jaylen Brown is because he's not your flashy superstar that you want to watch kind of guy. He's the guy that's going to put his nose right into the chest of the offense and try to really play some hard defense. You know, he's going to do everything he can to win. He's a great player, but I don't want to see him out there on the All-Star game throwing up threes from half court and trying to show off. That's not his style. So, but yeah, I'm happy with my picks. You're wrong.
Okay. And you know what? If I did this on my show, like all-star players, there are a lot of all-star players in this game.
Uh-huh.
Kyrie's an all-star player. James Harden's an all-star player. Devin Booker, Chris Paul's an all-star player. I think Dame and Steph. Like, those are players that are flashy with the ball. Trae Young, he's very flashy. Even De'Aaron Fox,
Yes.
I think he should get all-star votes. But he hasn't.
Julius Randle has had a great year this year.
Yeah, he's had it, but it's so tough to make an all-star team. And I don't even think Zion will make it. That's how tough I think it is to pick all-stars. And he's played great. Him and Brandon Ingram have played great, but it's like, Anthony Davis is going to get more votes than him.
It's
Paul George is going to get
LA.
Paul George is going to get more votes. Anthony Davis hasn't played that well this season, but he had 30, I think, last night. But
35.
Paul George is going to get votes. Paul George played unbelievable this season, and they have a better record. So when you look at things like that, these young players that are trying to get in, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker's already been in, but he wants to get in, not just to be a replacement for Dame, but he actually wants to get in. Donovan Mitchell, who is fourth, and he's like 1.5 million behind Dame. Like, oh my good, the disrespect. But I've talked about that before. It's so tough to make an all-star team. Even Colin Sexton's gotten votes. But Colin Sexton probably won't get in. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have had their moments. But Colin Sexton's playing very well right now. So it just shows you how tough it is to be an all-star. And people don't realize how tough it is. And Jaylen Brown is averaging almost 26 a game. I think he's fourth on the list right now, if I'm thinking correctly, because you have Bill, Kyrie, James Harden. Is it Jaylen Brown and Zach LaVine and Trae Young and Colin Sexton? I think. I did it off the top of my head.
I think LaVine was second at the moment. Let me go and check.
In all-star voting?
And the guards.
James Harden.
I mean, as far as on my app here, it's got.
He is second.
Yeah.
So James Harden's not up there? I thought he was up there.
James Harden is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth.
He is? I got Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Trae Young, Sexton, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, and Fred VanVleet. Second fan returns. This was on Thursday.
Huh. Okay. Mine is going Bradley Beal, LaVine, Irving, Brown, Young, Harden, Sexton, and so on.
Okay, how many votes does LaVine have on yours?
Let's see here.
Does it tell you how many votes he has?
You know what? It's not showing that. So maybe it's not up to date and it's just got them on this listed or something. We'll go with yours. Okay. It's your show.
Okay. Because this is what I see on second fan returns.
Okay.
I have Kyrie is second with 2 million. Does LaVine have 2 million?
Like I said, it just got them in order, but it doesn't show the votes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like,
it's this Kentucky internet.
It's okay. I was just trying to make sure. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know he jumped that high, but I mean, he could. I don't know. But Kyrie Irving is an all-star player. Like when you go to all-star game, you want to see Kyrie out there doing Kyrie things.
Right.
All right. Any last thoughts, Michael, before we sign off?
No, thank you for having me on here. Go Heat, make a trade.
That's what we want to see, right? We want to see the Heat make a trade. I
Yes.
think that needs to happen. But do I want Bradley Beal with the Heat? Yes. Victor Oladipo with the Heat? Yes. One of the two players have to go to Miami and get some good sunshine. There's no taxes.
I feel like Victor will probably be the one that ends up there. There's been too many conversations they have during the games or after the games that just look a little something more might be there. Yeah. They're not exchanging jerseys, but they're probably exchanging phone numbers and be like, hey, come on over here. We want you down in the Miami Heat.
Yeah, they DM each other and all the time. They do all kinds of things in the NBA. They call it tampering, but it's only tampering if you get caught, right?
That's right. That's right. You're not speeding and breaking the law unless you get pulled over.
Ooh. We're leaving you with some gems here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You're dropping gems on the show.
We need shirts with some of this stuff.
Be responsible adults now. Me and Garrett talking about being a responsible adult. It was hilarious.
Oh, okay.
but you want to be a responsible adult. But all we're saying is it doesn't matter if you don't get caught.
That's right.
But let's have morals and values, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Unless it comes with relationships, then it's not fair.
A rap relationship edition.
Yes.
All right. We got some plugins. So teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. Get your gear. Backstop Banter has gear. The Heart Count has gear. The People's XFL Show has gear. Ladies First has gear. Count the Bucket is making gear. The Prop Bros have gear. Keeping It Blunt has gear. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Saturday Standouts has gear.
The Fourth Man.
Fights Unwrapped. Huh?
The Fourth Man, I think. The Fourth Man podcast has gear.
Has gear. Fights Unwrapped has gear. I think I did it. Did I do it? I hope I did it.
Sounds good to me.
Check out all that gear, guys, on that website. Also, betting. I listen to the Prop Bros a lot. Shout out to Alex and Corey. MyBookie.ag. Use the code USN100. Double your first deposit. RxHemp.com. Use the code RxHemp/USN. Get 10% off your entire order. The entire thing. He's bringing up something here. There we go. CBD cream.
Yes. They have a cool therapy and also a warm therapy. So
be careful where you put that, ladies and gentlemen.
Long story on that. We can't go into it.
We can't go into that. But just be careful where you use it, okay?
Yes. I did click on this ingredients the other day. See if I can get it to pull up my internet speed. That's so weird to say.
It is, but it's the truth.
But everything seems to be completely natural in this stuff. It really looks interesting. I've got to get me some. Actually, as sad as it sounds, I work at Tractor Supply, and I actually bought some joint pain relief for horses today because my back has been bothering me and I needed some relief. But somebody said that actually when he played sports, he would rub it on his knees when he had problems playing. He was a catcher. And so I figured, you know what, I'm going to try it on my back and see how it works. And let me tell you, it was very cool. It felt pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Like I said, rub responsibly.
Yes.
We have that cream for you. And then we also have the Patreon. We showed you guys Patreon earlier. Cool Keenan Allen jersey that I hope I win because I don't win anything when it comes to raffles and things like that. So check out our VIP program at patreon.com/unwrappedsports. You get the $1 option per month, $5 option per month, or $10 option per month. You can join us and we talk everything. We can win you some money. We can lose you some money as well because it is betting. There we go. Look, he has
that jersey.
Allen jersey.
Oh, yes.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. If I I'm framing it, and when I give me a house, I'm going to put it in my woman man cave.
There you go. I think you can.
I want to start that trend. Go ahead.
I think you can call it a woman cave.
Okay. We'll call it. You know, when people say woman cave, what are you going to be doing? Cooking and painting your nails? No, I'm going to have me an 85-inch 8K TV with surround sound and a pool table and a mini bar for people that drink because I don't. That's what it's going to be. Okay. You know, I have the big lounge couch. Have my
there you go.
Here. And, you know,
please just have Gatorade
everywhere. Just Gatorade everywhere.
There you go.
Get sponsored by Gatorade.
There you go.
Great, actually.
Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Gatorade, please sponsor our show.
There we go. We throwing out free promotion out here. You know, the least we can do is get a sponsorship.
That's right.
But I really appreciate Michael for coming on with me tonight. We had a good time. I was going to do a recap of the game, but nobody's responded. So I don't know if I'll be doing that recap of the Nets and Warriors game. We'll see. I mean, it ended up being a blowout anyway. So you'll see me back here. Probably I might come on tomorrow. So Sundays are bad for me because I have my podcast on Sundays. And there are 2 great games on ESPN tomorrow. There are 2 great games on ESPN tomorrow. And I would love to talk about those games, Michael, but I don't know if I'll have the time. We got... On NBA TV, we got the Celtics and Wizards. But we got the Blazers and the Mavericks. And then after that, we got the Lakers Nuggets. I would love to come on here and recap those games if it's possible to do that on Sunday. I can't preview those games because I have my podcast that runs at that time, and I would love to recap those games if that's possible. So I might be back on here tomorrow to recap. You might see Michael back on here tomorrow, as well, if his wife and children allow, because you have to respect the family, of course.
Especially on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, it is Valentine's Day tomorrow. Oops, that's single people problems. See, single people don't understand.
So you'll be on, right?
I forgot. Oops, my bad, Michael. So there might not be a recap
I'm
tomorrow.
looking here. The Lakers Nuggets is at 10 o'clock my time, so it'd probably be pretty late. So I might be able to pull that one off.
I mean, depending on what you got going on, I don't want to interrupt a married man in his business. I'm just saying.
Been married 11 years with 3 children. 10 o'clock's a little past their bedtime, anyways.
Okay, all right. So, if I'm able to do a recap tomorrow, I don't know how many people in my Unwrapped Sports Network have lovers and are not available. But I'm available.
Lovers. I think lovers is just such a weird word to say on that. Well, that's accurate. I understand, but like, how are you supposed to say that word? Oh, that's my lover. That's what I feel like you have to do. You can't be like, oh, that's my lover. It's like my lover.
That's lover. You have to like say it with some kind of like meaning to it, because the love
weird
word
emotion.
Yeah, meaning.
A lot of air. Lover. I feel like doves should be flying right after you.
Yeah, and rose petals should be, at your feet and all that. Whatever you guys choose to do for Valentine's Day, be responsible. If you're single, don't make a mistake that will cost you 18 years. Be responsible. If you're married, have as much fun as you want to have. I'm just saying. So I might not be able to do a recap on Valentine's Day. I wanted you guys to be my Valentines, but it is what it is. But I was happy to have you, Michael. We had a great conversation.
Yes. Anytime.
We had a great time. I'll be back next week. Either it's going to be Friday or Saturday. I am working on turning all this into a podcast, guys. Be patient with me because I have to turn my show into a podcast. I have it downloaded and everything on Anchor. I just have to edit. I'm going to download this show tonight, edit it, and we're praying about it. But you will know. As soon as it happens, you will know. All right, we're signing off. We appreciate all your support, all the comments from Michael's friends from Facebook.
Woohoo, I have friends.
You got friends? Yes. I don't have a Facebook. All I have is a Twitter.
You're like Connie. Why don't you have a Facebook?
Let me tell you a quick Facebook story before we sign off.
Because your mom has Facebook, right?
I'm going to tell you what happened to me in college. This was in 2010. This was 11 years ago. Uh-huh. I said, you know what? I'm going to get a Facebook. Because I'm not really the social media type, but Twitter is my thing. I said, let me get a Facebook. This is right before I got a Twitter, right before. Mm-hmm. Get a Facebook. I got a Facebook. I put a Drake verse. Like, you know how you can tell people what's on your mind? I put a whole Drake verse in there. My mom wrote me a whole paragraph, and my friends liked it and commented. I put a Lil Wayne verse. Next, I put a Lil Wayne verse. She liked it, and my friends commented. Oh, listen to your mother. I said, this is Lil Wayne. I said, off Facebook. I had a Facebook maybe for a year, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe. I can totally understand that. When I had a Facebook and my mother jumped the fence to get a Facebook, she sent me a friend request that first day. I waited a little while before I accepted that until she confronted me face to face. Michael, I sent you a friend request. Why haven't I seen you accept it? I'm like, Mom, I love you, but it's just kind of weird having you on my social media stuff. But I had to finally just bite the bullet and add her to it.
I'm okay. Facebook is for the generation in our age. Like I'll say older generation because we're in our 30s. So
whoa, easy.
I know, Michael. I know, but it's the truth. Now, moms and aunts and pastors and they all have Facebook. So I figured I need to be on Twitter where it's a little bit more free.
Mm-hmm. I like how you said moms, aunts, and pastors.
Yeah,
it's who you're trying to avoid here.
I don't have a problem with my mom's pastor. Mm-hmm. He's a great guy. My mom, they grew up together, all kinds of. But once my mom got a Facebook, I knew it was time for me to direct my attention towards Twitter, which I understand she wouldn't know how to work Twitter, A, and B, Twitter was a little bit too nasty for her. So
Gotcha.
I'm not saying I got a Twitter because it's nasty. I got a Twitter because Twitter's great, and you get everything you need from Twitter. Wake up in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, Mom, did you see this? No, I didn't see that. What happened? I said, I've been on Twitter for 2 days. Did you see this, Amber? I've been on Twitter for a week. You know, they don't get on Facebook.
I understand. I agree. I'm starting to like Instagram a little better than Twitter, even though I don't really post any kind of pictures of myself because I don't like taking pictures of myself. But you can always message those celebrities and athletes like crazy on there. So I'm just like, please get on my shows. Please come on my shows. Twitter, they can do that. And you don't get a message.
It's so fun. Isn't Connie having a special guest on Monday?
He is. But it's not on my Backstop Banter, so we're not going to do any kind of free promotions on that.
Connie, if you're still listening, Connie, shout out to your special guest. You guys have to watch his show, Generation Z. They have gear on the Unwrapped Sports Network as well. Yes. They're having a special guest on Monday.
Trey Wingo, guys. Can you believe that?
Yes.
So, yes. I mean, that's pretty cool.
He shot his shot with a tweet and it worked.
I mean, it really did. And Trey Wingo answered it like perfectly how he should have too. Like that was
that's Trey. It's only Trey. You know, he's a very sarcastic guy. I love Trey Wingo. ESPN's losing great people. But anyway, I loved having you, Michael.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Loved having you. And we will see you guys next week.
All right.
Oh, we didn't get it in.